Thank you for coming back to my channel. This is Joshua Carter, JAC the Trucker, and I just wanted to kind of give you some reasons for getting your CDL. I've had mine for a week, and I've already noticed the phenomenal changes it's made in my life, just based off the freedom that I have in my life. Not freedom of like relaxation freedom, but freedom to think. You know, for years and years and years, if you follow me before, I was trying to start business after business after business, and I kept falling short because I was so not doing it for the right reason. I was doing it trying to get a dollar, and it wasn't even successful. My anxiety and my depression was holding it back, like holding me back from doing the business that I knew I could have possibly done if I just would have been more patient. So what I'm saying to you is, why do I think you should get a CDL? Why do I think you should get a CDL? For one, because it's free. You know, it's the level of accomplishment that you've done something. It's the idea that you can do anything that you want to do at this point. Your CDL Class A's opens up more doors than you've ever been taught. You know, growing up, we hear that truck drivers and transportation workers are like the bottom of the totem pole. And then you look at some of them in truck stops, you know, they have this impression that nasty, fat, stink, rude, mean. I remember growing up, people used to say they were murderers, but that's not the case. You know, in any industry, there's crazy people. And I mean, you got some doctors who do some nasty, foul things to patients, you know. So CDL Class A, whether it's local, over the road, dedicated, regional, whatever have you, school bus transportation, whatever, it's something that can change your life. You can go from making $30,000 a year with no potential for growth, or putting in starting out somewhere for $30,000 a year and working for a company for 20 years just to get a nice 401k package. You have an opportunity with a CDL Class A to maybe start out at that baseline $30,000. And again, disclaimer, I've only had my CDLs for a week and I have not driven for any particular company yet. But just based off the information I've dove into, the information I'm getting from different recruiters, information I'm getting from watching YouTube videos, from basically engulfing myself in the industry, that $30,000, $30 to $35,000 is like the base start out. You know, you probably making $300 a week when you're training. You know, that can elevate to like $700 a week, $800 a week, so on and so forth. But you can put in a good 3 or 4 years and just continue to climb, continue to climb, continue to climb, and making enough money to not only just pay your bills, but be able to provide a living for your family. And I know anything that you attach a dollar to, it's not always going to have a good benefit. But if you are trying to, for me, support my family, you know, I always tell people, I don't want to be at the gas pump making a life decision. Like, do I put $5 in so we can have $5 to eat, or do I put this whole $10 in and we just have to figure out what we're going to eat when I get there? I want to be able to fill my tank up, fill my girl's tank up, and still be able to have food on the table. But it's more than that. It's just the legacy that it creates. Having a CDL, I can now get my authority, open up a business, put some trucks on the road, create different opportunities for different people, and changing the landscape of our community. You know, the black community, you don't see too many black truckers in their own lane. Now there is a few. I've done research on it. There's a few successful, highly successful black-owned freight and trucking companies, more than I could ever imagine, actually. But it's not the norm. You know, we get wrapped up in different things, and some of us don't even think about trucking. I didn't think about trucking until June 2018. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so fortunate that I did. I'm so blessed that I was able to have that and stick with the hard processes of it. So another reason I want you to get your CDL is for the legacy that it leaves behind, the opportunities that you create for others, the opportunity to serve and give back. And a final reason outside of those two is the peace. Like, I'm going to stick with that, the peace it gives you. Some of us who get into trucking are just not meant to, A, have a boss, and B, if we do have to be in a situation where we have a boss, we're not meant to be in a cubicle. We're not meant to go do the same thing every single day. In this industry, and again, I have not driven a truck yet. I have some potential places I'm going to go with locally, and I'm excited for those opportunities. But doing trucking, you can literally be in one state, not just in a city, but just one state on a Monday and be in a whole other state on Monday night. The ability to continue to have change in your life, the ability to continue to see different experiences. Traveling, I'm not a big fan of traveling. I just don't like packing. But I'm a fan of seeing new experiences and getting real world experiences. And that's what trucking and having your CDL Class A creates. It creates a real world experience. And I'm telling you, it's only been a week for me. So don't think that I'm just out here trying to feed you nonsense. I'm just telling you, in that week, I've been more free. I've been more at peace. I've been more confident. I've had so much more direction than I have ever had in 35 years of living. And I'm excited for the opportunity. Yeah, there's that uncertainty of are these places going to hire me? What about the no experience? That's why I'm going to say this. If you can get into a situation where you can just bite the bullet for a year. I have a baby coming in April. So it was kind of hard for me to be able to be gone away for a year. Granted, you get home time and all that, but it's starting to get close to the end of the pregnancy. And I can't afford to be gone for 3 or 4 months at a time and have to try to figure out that coming back and all that. So for me, having a local job now, maybe taking a little of a pay cut is only because the baby, and I have a situation with my older daughter who's 8. She's in a different city. So getting her back and forth to where I am also plays a part in that. But that's the flexibility that trucking gives you that most other jobs won't. So if I had to, I could take a over-the-road dedicated route with a carrier and go straight to Florida and straight back here at like every 3 days. And that would probably be more beneficial to my child. So what I was saying, if you can't afford to get your CDL, there are schools, like I went to 160 Driving Academy. There's a review on my channel about the school. I went to 160 Driving Academy, and they had like a sponsorship program. The company that I was going to go with paid for me to go to school. So I would have got that 1 year experience, and I could have decided to leave. But they didn't want to work with my situation with having the baby and all that. So I just agreed to pay them back. And once I start working. So there's those opportunities. You can go to like a private school, like a community college in your area, or like a technical college that has like a CDL program, and you just pay out of pocket. If you can't afford that, there's a lot of funding that goes on in cities. You have to just get in there when they have the funding available. They'll pay for it. The top priority, you can go today, right now, on your computer, type in like Prime Inc., Swift, CR England, Roll. Those are the ones I know. TMC. Again, these are just the ones I know. CRST. These companies will pay for you to go to like a school in your area, or they'll send you out to a school in their area, and they'll pay for it. You just have to sign a contract with them. If you decide you don't want to do it, you just have to get into an agreement to pay them back. But that's the best route. That's the route I took because I couldn't afford to pay $1,000 a week, whatever. So get your CDL for peace, legacy, and financial freedom. And hopefully I'll have more tips for you guys as I get further in the process. But I just wanted to get that video out as we get to the end of the year. People may be trying to make a transition in their life and make things happen in their life. So consider it, think about it, and I hope it all works out for you. Get your CDLs.